Welcome back everyone to the French Cooking Academy. My name is Stefan and look at this. The new studio has arrived. We moved back to Lyon and that beautiful setup, and I've got also beautiful ingredients. Now before we start the recipe of the week, let me give you a little announcement. I've created a new community newsletter that's going to allow you or any one of you that's interested to get my video every single week in their emails. You'll also get the new things I'm working on and projects that are stirring in the background. So if you don't want to miss out, you can go in the video description. There will be a link and it will lead you to a landing page. You can put your email in there and register yourself to get all of the video and all the news. That's for the announcement of the day. Now for the recipe of today, look at that. I've been waiting for this to happen. Cheese, and more cheese. So basically that sounds like a cheese fondue. It is called in French the fondue Savoyard, which is a cheese bonanza. 3 types of cheese: beaufort, comte, and gruyere cheese that we're going to melt in a cast iron pan with a bit of garlic until it is totally stringy. You're going to take some little pieces of bread and on a special stick, and we're going to stir that in and have this lovely cheesiness coming to us. You can serve a little bit of these meats on the side if you want, and we're going to drink the wine, which is a Savoie white wine, a dried wine from the Savoie region, and we're going to use it to cook and also to have a glass with the cheese. That's how it's served. So let's not wait and start this cheese fondue. Okay, so let's start this cheese fondue, I will call it, because there's actually different names and variation when you call it depending on the region, and people use different types of cheese. So the question always is why many cheese, why do you use different types of cheese? But they all have different kind of flavors. So I'm more nutty. Some people say that the beaufort cheese reminds them some, the kind of the smells and the taste from the grazing ground where the cows are going. That's where they they get their food, so it translates into the cheese. It's the terroir that comes into the cheese really. But most importantly, you take cheeses that really have that tendency to melt really good and also have that kind of stringy effect, because that's what you want. For the rest, once you got your cheese, you're going to need some garlic. Usually 1 garlic clove is enough. These are very important. The fondue kind of stick, these are for the meat fondue, but you can use that for the cheese fondue as well. And as for the meats we got here, it doesn't really matter. They can be really any types of cured ham or sausage that you want, or normal ham. For the preparation for the cheese, the best is to grate it. But at the moment, right here, actually I don't have a grater, I'm waiting for a new one. So what you need to do with the cheese is to really just cut it in very, very small pieces. So it does not matter how it is. You can grate it, like I said, as best. Otherwise you're just gonna kind of do little pieces. I'm just gonna cut my cheese like that and make sure everything is in small square, and then we're gonna go onto the stove and start to melt the cheese with the wine. And here we are. So I've cut all the cheese. I hope it's small enough, and it's time to do some tasting. So anyone that loves cheese, raise their hands please. I do. So I'll start with this one. This is the gruyere cheese. Let me try. Okay, so this has got grains of salt and crystals of salt inside. Very nutty, but very, very salty. So it's very good. It's going to add some saltiness to the preparation. Beaufort cheese from the Savoie region as well. Let's try that. This one is very smooth on the palate. And it's very tender. Kind of still quite young, but it's stronger. That kind of smelly cheese type. When you open them, they kind of smell a little bit. And so that's going to add some good flavor. And this one, the comte, well, I like. This one is really just nuttiness. It's firm. It's really a big nuttiness. I love the texture. So it's very creamy. Now, all of this cheese, by the way, have been made the same way. They are made with rose cow's milk that has been cooked first and then curdled and pressed into cheese wheels. And this one here, the gruyere, comes from Switzerland. There's some from France. It's all the same region near the Alps, basically, near the mountains. So you find all of these flavors. They're absolutely beautiful. Let's go to the pan. Okay, so I've got a cast iron pot here. And the first thing we need to do is to take a bruised or crushed garlic. And we just need to rub it. See, so it's very wet. And you just rub it all over your pan. Now you got two choices here. And once you've done with the garlic, or you just do a rub and you discard the garlic or use it for something else, for another preparation. Otherwise, you can kind of leave it in. So what I'm going to do, I like garlic, so I don't want too much. I'm going to leave half of it. And so a good rub, and then I'm going to pour the wine in. Okay, so I've left some garlic. I've put my heat on medium, and I'm going to start by adding 100 ml of the white wine from somewhere, the dry white wine. Now, it is very important not to put too much wine in there, because otherwise your fondue is going to get too liquid. So a little bit of wine first, and when it's hot, we're going to start to incorporate the cheese that I've got right here. Alright, so the wine here is coming to temperature, and I'm going to go very easy. So I've got the mix of all the three cheese, and I'm just going to start. We're going to go easy on there, but this, oh, that smell of cheese with the wine already. Oh, heaven. Heaven. Again, look at this. So you see immediately, because it's quite hot, the cheese start to color the wine, and it's gonna, be melting. But because my piece is here, and maybe a bit big, I'm gonna have to go very easy and wait without having a big boil. You want to do this on a kind of a simmer, and keep on stirring like this constantly until the cheese is melted, and then I'm going to add more cheese and build up our fondue of cheese. Alright, so look at this. You see it thickens, it's melted. So without hesitation, I'm going to put another batch of cheese and raise my heat slightly. And the game is basically just this, to really get that consistency, a bit like a bit of a custardy kind of consistency. So you want some thickness, but some liquid as well. And so it's just the right balance. Important is temperature and wine amount. Not too much wine, otherwise it's too liquid, and not too little, otherwise it's too stiff. So I'm gonna pour some wine on the sides and make sure I've got some ready, just in case it needs more. Okay, so look, now I didn't add the wine yet, but look at this. Start to be nice and cheesy, but a bit curly, so there's still enough wine in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to go with my second batch of cheese. And same thing, put the heat a bit higher on, and you see that now is going to absorb all the wine and start melting. And if need be, got a bit of wine here, but really a little bit. So when you start making the fondue like this, it's best to go little bit by little bit, and make sure you got the consistency you want. Otherwise, really, it can be ruined if it's too liquid. And now for the last step, as you can see here, look at that. I've got a nice consistency. I'm gonna add the rest of my cheese. Boom. A dash of wine. In total, I've put around 150 ml for 600 grams of cheese. So that's my last bit, and then we're gonna be ready. So I'm gonna let this melt and see the results. And that's it, I think we're done. Look at this. I've got that nice kind of custard consistency. Let's have a look. Stringiness has been achieved. You see, that's what you want, the strings. So now I'm gonna prepare some bread, set up the table, and taste the cheese fondue. Now the cheese fondue best friend is this, a nice loaf of bread. Now for the size of the pieces, really it's up to you. It says it's meant to be little cubes of bread, but if you're someone that really likes, like larger cubes of bread, I think it's not a problem, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that's kind of that sort of pieces. Alright, so here we are. The fondue is very difficult to serve because usually you need something like a source of heat below. This is cast iron, I just took it off the heat, and you always need to have a source of heat, otherwise it's going to solidify very quickly, so we don't have much time. So take the fondue, I'm taking this little pick, and the very simple thing is to just kind of, you see it's getting solidified, and just basically roll this bread, look at this. And maybe I can add a little piece of the little sausage there, and yum. Wow, now that's a big cheesy. You see that starts to be a bit too liquid, but just for the camera. But look at these strings. Look at these strings of cheese. It's salty, it's nutty, it's all the goodness of the cheese that you could really expect. Of course, it is pure cheese, so you need to absolutely love this. So you can come up with a little presentation. You know, you could wrap your bread like this, or like I'm gonna go a bit fancy with a bit of raw ham, make a little toast like this, and boom, you know, cheese and ham. Look at that. But away from that, that's it, guys. That completes the video of the week, and I cannot stop playing with that cheese, sorry, because it's so good. I cannot stop. Otherwise, you can leave me a comment if you have a comment about that recipe using the comment section, or you can use Instagram, French Cook Academy, if you want to send me the pictures of the recipe you make, or you can visit my website, frenchcookingacademy.com, and also subscribe to the newsletter. Remember, for the cheese fondue, 3 types of cheese, enough wine, low temperature. That's gonna give you exactly this. I'm gonna leave you with that beautiful stringy picture, and I see you all next time on my next recipe. Take care all, bye bye.